Also weak like them, but still they have an annoying move on them. You know what I mean. We have the Honey Hungry Bears. Go Chicago Bear. Oh, whatever. Chicago Bears, all clerk lineup. Nothing special on them. They also have the big clerk on them. They all have the freaking nest hammer, the nest mace on them, and then the bee hive looking shield on them. All they could ever do, heal, this, that, whatever a clerk can do. Oh, wait. Oh, they can't resurrect, though. They cannot resurrect. So they don't resurrect. They're an easy team, but they still have that one annoying move that holds them from being S tier. Happy frick.
What you just witnessed was just a younger version of myself recording a tier list video of Happy Wars co-op team's normal difficulty. And it felt so cringe and just funny to laugh at. I have to just stop the flashback. Cause now I just feel a whole lot different after just growing older and older. The time I was recording, I was like 1 year younger. It's insane how puberty can hit a person, you know. Anyway, the reason I wanted to do this now, I needed to revitalize this tier list before even going into that 15th randomizer spreadsheet challenge I just have set up. I want to revitalize the spreadsheet, and now I'm definitely gonna have the absolute goddamn chance to move up teams to higher tiers or move some teams to lower tiers. Now that I've fought them more and more and understand the dynamics and mechanics and how they just work together or just what they do on the field. Yes, I'm pretty sure that the last time I made this video, it was poorly explained, rushed, not very detailed. I don't know how. And yet it got a staggering 100 views because it was an old game. Imagine me just rushingly, just laggily, slowly, and logical fallacy explaining a goddamn game that's an old game that's not even that popular as this game. It would have gotten way less views and no one even give a shit to even view the tier list. Anyway, though, I want to get right in now that I know everything about these teams. Well, some mechanics. I just want to dive right in and why I believe these teams should be in certain tiers. All right, let's go now. Whether you want to believe it or not, Happy Wars is like over 12 or 13 years old right now. Still somewhat of an active player base, even though after being dead. Rip Happy Dungeons, by the way. I just can't believe that this game is still not even down from the Xbox store, but the dev team decides to keep it up and work on Warlander, which also probably is getting review bombed too because of how it just feels such like a large change and so different and just so not so competitive, and it's not very easy to pick up compared to the old game. The old game, okay, you could easily pick up, but that game, darn, that seems way more advanced. It's like for veteran players to try out, but still, veterans didn't even seem it that way. Even especially with the removal of just gender changes on all the classes, no extra classes either, no berserker, no zapper, no engineer. You can't change genders. Oh, I already just said that. Hold on. You cannot have enchant effects onto your weapons. Warriors can no longer do the amazing guard attack thing. And for some reason, everyone now has a crossbow as ranged weapons. Yet they have melee weapons. Why can't they just learn the class instead of just having to do ranged stuff at the same time too? Everything feels so different about the game. Now the main objective is to not get more towers than the opponent, but to destroy an orb instead of a tower, of building it down. Whatever. Enough of the history. This game, in co-op mode, you fight 30. There's like a chance that you can fight one of the 30 normal teams. Considering if you're me and having to fucking fight these hard goddamn teams multiple times in a row. If you're me streaming, swearing, saying slurs, yelling, and everything at a young age. Unless if you're me, you played one of these 30 teams before. They're extremely powerful. The game recommends you in like the description of the co-op mode work with friends and fight powerful co-op enemies. Yeah, whatever that says. I want to revitalize this tier list because I'm pretty sure the last tier list, there was like a bunch of C tier teams and were not detailedly explained for how a newcomer deal with it, or like a certain player, like an intermediate or a rookie or a veteran. But we have to exclude the veteran part, if that would mean. Still, I want to realistically rank these teams if an intermediate or a rookie were to fight them. So I want to get started, and I also want to make this quick because I need to get to the 15th spreadsheet challenge as quick as possible. All right. Also, if you see here, I made these images sized out so now you can see the team names a whole lot better because I struggled even identifying what teams were even up there because of how cropped the images were. So for the new tier list that I'm going to link in the description of the video, you now have better images to see. All right. And first up, 100-year sentence, no change in the old tier list. It's going to go directly to D. Why? This team has lots of berserkers with deadly back attack and ambush attack up options that can be, in most circumstances, OKO or one hit KO in a synonym acronym gamer slang thing. That are mostly just one hit KOs for anyone that doesn't have ambush relievers or even high enough defense. They can just be on the receiving end of receiving those extremely hard hitting back attacks. They also have some insane freaking smash power up attacks that can hit from very far. They have charge spins. They have dash attacks that also have that O-hit KO properly. They have a cheer effect. They have a what? Oh, jeez. How do I not remember all these teams? Yet I played for I have 1,000 hours combined with every other account, including the brand new Stick War Legacy that could be up to 1,100 hours, and knowing and breaking down all the teams' gameplay styles, techniques, and how they deal with them. And I don't remember all the formidable enemies. Oh, wait. I think I know now. Offender on probation. Offender on probation is the team head honcho that is tall and it's a clerk and can apply heals. Oh, wait, no. I think he can apply dash effects to make the berserkers run a lot faster than what they usually be. Turn off that. Put on my charger. The entire team's made up of berserkers, just nothing but berserkers. They have double weapons. They're extremely powerful. But the only thing that I'm just holding them back from even going to F tier because they're not really that hard to deal with unless you hit them first. The only downside to them is that they're slow. They don't dash attack to you, even if you try and run from them. They'll rarely freaking do it, though. But if you just keep on running from them, they'll just rarely dash. So you at least have time to run in. The defense, still just an averagely low amount that they could probably be killed by a veteran warrior player or some high damage. Still a pretty hard team to deal with overall. And almost went to F if they were to just become a little bit faster, but they're slow though. Next team, Pizza and Delivery, a surprise team. Darn, I might have to rename. I just have to remove some of these goddamn teams on the tier list from the last time I just played them in most of my previous streams that they just pull surprise fucking kills on me when I don't even expect these fucking teams to even be that good. They just always surprise me. They always kill me. They always able to just get, excuse me for a moment, stream snipes on me. And I quit out the game because I don't like taking deaths to those trash fucking teams and I'd be a bad influence on any other fucking veteran or pro player that even looked up to me. Whatever. Pizza and Delivery. They have warriors. They just have a mix of warriors and clerks, but then mostly warriors. Mostly warriors if you play with only a minimum of 6 people. If you play like the minimum amount, they only have warriors. But if you add more people to the lobby, they're going to have clerks that heal and probably can do happy miracles, which is kind of ridiculous. The team seems like a bit tough to deal with if there's more players playing, but on the upside though, low defense but high damage, some skills, annoying skills. They're just probably moderate to fight against. They're not the hardest. They're not the easiest with the defense that they have and the gameplay style you can expect from your average AI warrior, that they just walk to you, use a skill, dash, attack a few times, go to shield, and spam a skill. That's the dynamic of every fucking AI warrior. Just that weird pattern. Oh, wait. I can't even believe I did that. How did I reload the page? So pizza and delivery, the head on show, Mr. Magenta, or Quattro, as it is in the enemy name, Quattro, has a shield charge, rush, kind of hard to deal with unless you find a way to stun lock it with fire. Back attacking it, yeah, still kind of hard to deal with if you do not have a stun lock element. You have to go around him. He kind of deals high damage. His rush can send people freaking distance if you're not careful. Can send you out the map too. And that's all I have to say. Clerks that heal, the warriors, they're easy if you play on small lobbies, but they're not. They're going to be hard to deal with if there's more players playing with clerks. Yep, I don't think there's a change. I want to put this in D, but still the defense and the attack power and all the playstyle all the times. There's just could have been times I could have been in the team, and yet they surprised me. And mostly, they sometimes could be my fault, but they can't be my fault because of the denominate. You just have to be understanding my resonation with how I just hate this game. Next team, Fire Elementals. Fire Elementals, just simply put, fire elementals, or just fireballs. Just fireballs. Probably a frame 4 move if I even will look into the frame data with an app. The fireball just magic attack of just a mage or his upper class can just come out on frame 4 extremely fast. It can stagger enemies. It can just keep an enemy in stagger lock if they don't even have fire resistance or they're unable to escape. Fireballs can keep an enemy in stagger lock, which is going to be kind of annoying for me and for most newcomers who don't even understand them, or even intermediates. It's just going to be kind of annoying getting stuck in a stagger lock from a fire elemental team. And to top it all off too, not only that this team's just is fully loaded with mages, they just threw in a few extra fucking warriors there too, including that one, I can't even pronounce that. There's that one big warrior, if you have 6 players playing, that deals a staggering 2,000 physical fucking damage with just his attacks. And yet they consider this fucking normal difficulty. These devs are absolutely dumb. Still, no change for this team, but still, it could probably be ranked higher than Pizza and Delivery because of the difficulty gap for them. The head honcho for the team, nothing much. Oh, wait. And then I just probably realized that they could sometimes have like a meteor skill effect or a meteor storm effect that just has all the meteors raining down, doing high damage and everything. Oh, great. I realized that the team might be a bit hard, but still not white hot D tier hard. It still would go up to C and at least to above pizza delivery, though. So, yes, they're at least good at just zoning you with fireballs, a little the Flame Master. That also can't be staggered, but her fireballs deal higher damage. And yes, I said her, not him, because if you were to hear how the Flame Master attacks or shoot fireballs, it's a female voice line. So, yes, the Flame Master's a she. That's kind of wild, isn't it? I just feel just a whole lot more relieved, hopefully, than my goddamn cringy young sounding voice. Still, oh wait, I'm just talking so much. I keep getting out of point of what the teams even have. I just keep getting talking out of point. I apologize if I ever do that and drag on video length. Well, at least not in D tier. Why? Let me just get straight to the point. They're just extremely weak when it comes to up-close combat, so you can just rush them down, stop their fireballs, get up close to them, and just punish the shit out of them. If you can just get up close and attack them, they'll just be rendered useless. Or especially with clerks dispelling their fireball chain effects, and they have to get it back, or they just leaves them completely helpless with small fireballs that barely do anything. So, yeah, C tier. Next team, we have Blacksmith Helpers, which is an odd team, but also one of the easiest teams I could also put up to A, but at the same time I want to leave back to B. I'm guessing, no. You know what? No change for this team. It's going to go to B. Why is the team going to go to B, you ask? So for 6 players, you mostly get clerks that can apply armor, sanctuaries, I guess. But when you're playing with more players, more of the clerks, for some reason, have armor opposed to the regular minimum amount when they don't have armor at all, including Jin Goro. Have that belt accessory thing. More of them have armor, but don't have the accessory. Sometimes they could also have even goddamn dispels, KO effects, and especially lightning chain effects on their weapons to slow down their opponents, which seems kind of deadly, but not that deadly considering how lackluster goddamn Clerk's combat abilities are, even in the Happy Wars game. Just how lackluster the combo abilities are when they're just meant for just pure support. But still, people try to find a way for Clerk to have offensive capabilities. I know they're succeeding. I'll just leave it at that. Jin Goro's the deadliest one on the team. The big guy. He has a KO effect. He has a happy miracle that holds the team back from even going up to A if they have just extremely weak defense without armor that can turn around the game at any point. KO effects, extremely high defense. Darn. If you just get locked in a goddamn KO combo, you just have to pray to God that he just gets interrupted by another player, switches up the string with like an uppercut, or targets another player. But if he just keeps cheesing you with the goddamn KO effect, you're just most likely dying. There's just no way you can fucking live. Or wait, also if you have a KO rate down armor, you can survive. But still, if you do not have a KO rate effect, if you keep getting just back attack Tisha Jin Goro, just one fucking touch of death from him, you're just most likely not going to live. And also, the head honcho of the team, Father Smith. The weapon even looks like the 24 karat gold weapon that the construction speed up buffs you can get into your weapon that you used to build with. For some reason, it's in Father Smith's weapon. You can't even use it as an actual weapon because it'd be probably cool if you can actually use it as an actual weapon, but you can't. You can only use it for building, but it's just toy logic and just game files that give it that weapon to make Father Smith look cool. Father Smith also has KO effect on his weapon, and you'll most likely get KO effect cheese to death if you're unable to deal with it or survive from it. But still not that hard to deal with your fire chain effect. Mostly teams are going to have fire chain effects. Yep. No change. It's going to be in B tier like last time. Oh, this fucking team. The Stargazers, or I like to annoyingly call them the Shitgazers, they're just literally the epitome of what a fucking newcomer does when you're skipping 101 and then watching some other mentally dumb fucking players. Probably it could be that could be what happened during the beta back in 2012 when the game released. This is just what happened when newcomers do not learn 101 or do not learn any fucking game mechanics at all, or just the rundown of how to even get into an attack in a neutral position. They just spam fucking skills. They spam Rocket Man. They spam Smash. They just do those skills and open to get a fucking kill. They don't even dash effect. They don't even create at least precise combos with them. They just use those skills for damage and they don't even combo start with it properly. They attack a few times, transition to that skill, or just use it up close. That's just how fucking dumb this team is. Oh, that's even worse that the Stargazers have compared to all the other buffs. Even if with Smash Resistance that doesn't even send you far. I even have one time I tried to use all three Smash Resistance effects on Giant on Stick War Legacy, and he still got flinched. There's just no way that this is the only team to have that programmed in the game. I'm pretty sure there's like also another team that has super armor programmed into them. It's probably from like a Hell's team, and I don't know the name of them. Another Hell's team also has the super armor pop ability. The Stargazers, like 100% of the entire team, whether you play with minimum or with like a high amount or just with a huge lobby, all of them have super armor. All of them. Literally every last one of these fucking goddamn enemies. Literal fucking cum sperm filled pieces of dumb fucking shit. Toy logic thought. Oh, we need this for the newcomer. We want to make a newcomer fight against the super armor enemy that doesn't get launched and see how they adapt their strategy to an unlaunchable enemy. My ass! That's a fucking good way to even teach newcomers to play the game. Stargazers. They have Rocket Man. They have smash effects. They deal extremely high damage. You can't even flinch them with normal attacks, but still, to some extent, to even flinch them, you can just back attack them to stagger them a bit, or land a KO or a stun effect or a fiery chain effect to just break through their super armor, or an icy chain effect. Lightning and wind, they don't really work on them either because they don't even flinch. You can use tactical weapons to launch them or lightning strikes. Just etc. The list goes on how to launch them. Using any other attack will just be passively fucking super armored. Like nothing ever happened. They will not go flying. You'll mostly go flying from the Smash or Rocket Man you see them do. They're all warriors. They guard attack. They resort to using some bullshitty tactics. They can Rocket Man you at range or just go up close to do it. It's kind of annoying how this team is. Gainsha even has like a busted fucking Rocket Man hitbox that just goes extremely far to at least like the distance of like an entire castle. Just way big, even bigger than than Gainsha's body size, the head honcho, which is extremely deadly and not nice to be around. And of course, the same with Gainsha, but only with fire chain effects, as with all the other formidable head honchos I've been saying. You can stun lock them with fire and not make them insane, or just partially stun them with a super chant lightning attack. So the Stargazers team, darn, do they rank higher? They have super armor. They have like at least some insane defense, but they're not down to F because it would have been more broken if they had more damage and more defense. But still, they don't have that much defense. And at least it's kind of also hard to predict the Rocket Man's direction because you don't even get like an indication on which direction they're going. They can just pick at any point to go any direction and just forces players to play a gambling game and jump rope at the fucking Stargazer's command that they're going to go left or right or forward. The only way you can stop the Rocket Man is by at least rushing down, which is one weakness, which is why the team's in D, not F. All right, moving on. I still think, could they be lower? Could they just possibly be lower than the 100-year sentence? The intermediate would just have to fight them, though. Would they be lower? You know what? I think they could still be lower than them. At least with the 100-year sentence, they just walk slower. They're just at least slower than the freaking Stargazers. They're at least somewhat okay to deal with. All right. The Living Dead. The zombie team. Oh, what do I have to say about this damn team? Just like the Happy of the Dead zombies that they can just be Best resemble from the Happy Wars story campaign. The zombies, they are just glass cannon units, if you get what I'm saying. They have extremely high damage, almost very high damage amongst all the other co-op AI enemy team, having up to like 2,100 or 2,000 physical damage from their warrior zombies, but still not that powerful with the clerks or mage zombies either. Dr. Airhead, Easy Zombie Maker, Franken, some deadly goddamn zombies in that team. Including with Easy Zombie Maker having the extremely high smash power up that can send people fucking miles across an entire map. That could even send them halfway from the coral map from the enemy castle to back to their goddamn tower, or just halfway to their tower. Some insane smash distance from Easy Zone Maker, and to top it all off, he even has extremely high defense for not even having any armor on him. Same thing with Dr. Airhead. He also has extremely high defense, but still he has extremely high anti-material power, so he can destroy tactical weapons and artillery extremely easy with ease. So you gotta watch out for him. And he also has extremely high damage when he's on a tactical weapon. And he can deal high damage to unsuspecting players who don't think that the ballista would kill them, but they do with like 2 or 3 shots. And Franken, what do I say about Franken? The freaking moderate large guy of the team. He probably has some super armor frames. If you're not able to hit him before he gets him, you're just straight up screwed. And also, just an RNG fest if you're going to get hit in a stun lock, or he just switches out of it so that you get time to react. Either way, the team's kind of deadly. I don't believe why this fucking team was like in C and not lower D, mostly because of their goddamn defense. Extremely high defense as they sound, but they don't have the best defense. They would just have around 300 or some defense. And also, I haven't mentioned the zombie mages yet, because you can only get more of them if you're playing with like the higher minimum amount, higher than the minimum of 6 people. If you have 15 people, you get the mages. They're not that special. They only have like no chain effect. They walk up. They're just extremely easy to kill. And even, but still, if they just get boosted with Soul Harvester, then they just become an extremely dead team that they almost become up with all health and everything. They're kind of hard. Living Dead, I definitely am tempted to put this in D. But then I also want to keep this in like low C or high D. White hot or hard. What can I say? That this team has extremely high fucking damage that's broken. They also have roars to keep players locked in place, stun effects on their fucking weapons, and rushes. Rushes that can just also hit KO unsuspecting freaking people. Or 2 KO them. Because of their high damage. If that's not enough, the stun effect can also just kill them if they even evade or just run away from them. Extremely insane. Darn. Alright. With Soul Harvester, though. Just a one-time thing about this goddamn team is such a hard decision if I even want to put this in D or in C. Still, it's just such a hard time that it's just straight up a 50-50 if you meet a zombie in combat. If you get the first hit, you get a straight up advantage and you just kill them instantly. But if they land the first hit on you, you're most likely screwed. Unless you find a way to even escape out of it. Like you're a pro player and at least an intermediate. But new people or just below intermediate people could have a hard time dealing with them if they do not land the first hit on them in an action. And they just will most likely kill them. Easy's on make. You gotta watch out for smash effects. Oh my god. Extreme high defense. Oh man. What do I think of this fucking team? I played it like so many times. They're easy to kill, but still, I can imagine if I was on like a new account trying to fight this team. I could understand how fucking insane the team is. All right, just to freaking get the stupid. Why did I put this in C? That goes in D. No one can convince me otherwise. That fucking team goes in D. Next team, Ladies Garden. And the one thing that this team reminds me of is the no bitches meme team. That's what they remind me of. And in fact, most of the characters in AI just models. What am I saying? Most of the goddamn character classes are female, and which is why it's also called Ladies Garden. So with this team, a mix of just warriors, clerks, and mages, but then also team skills such as Sheeran, Russian, meteor storms, lightning arrows. Team's probably a force to be reckoned with, but still averagely low stats overall. They're not really that powerful. They seem kind of hard to deal with at first, but as you progress and rank up and learn from other people or learn from me or learn as you play the game, they're not that hard now. I will say that Mary, that huge warrior, can be kind of deadly sometimes with the spin and some insane damage, but still, if you can deal with it, then all right. They're not that powerful. They don't have the wonkiest stuff, but still, they're not easy. And I was actually underestimating this team that this could be our team. Still, not that hard if you at least take into consideration that they have the weak combat skills and low damage, and if you find some way to deal with them, especially with your goddamn dumb spam tactics. They're not that hard, I guess. I was dogging on this team too much. Maybe it deserves to go up to B for once. They're just medium. Firefighters, a team mostly filled with clerks, but as you put more and more people, they have extra warriors and mages that also look like the character models from the Fire Elementals team, which is kind of retarded. But then fits the theme with firefighters. You're supposed to fight fire. You're supposed to fight fire, not fight fire with fire. That's some weird, ironic, enneagram. I get reading English term from school. I don't know. That's weird. Indian thing. All right. Firefighters. Not the greatest combat ability. Oh, wait, I probably do take it back by the time I was killed by one of them. They do have KO effects if they land the first hit, but what if they mix into a string or just try to support another ally? Maybe that's your chance to attack them. Steven is the big guy of the team. He has the golden hammer compared to the rest, or some of them have golden hammers. I really don't know. I think the little guys sometimes have gold hammers and just wood hammers alternating. They also all apply armor, but also Steven is the only one, the big person, that doesn't apply armor. He instead has a dispel effect. And just still seems like a moderate threat if you don't get that first hit though. But still, all right. This team looks like it's medium, so it's not the easiest, but not the hardest. It could be a medium team, but if you play with more players, the difficulty can kind of skyrocket. I don't think this team is super me, but with Soul Harvester, I'm not sure if they're going to be that very easy. So from all the times I fought this team, do I think this team's extremely easy? No, they're not extremely easy. My case for being a veteran player. Are they very hard? Not that hard, but still extremely normal. But not supposed to be a dogged on hard team because there's so much goddamn C tiers. All right. I guess for an intermediate, if you try to fight this team and figure out all the ways that they attack or just see them just open when they try to apply armor, or if they're just going to be covered by another AI if you try to hit them while they're in armor or get hit with the KO effect. What do you think? What do I think? Still, weak combat ability, I guess it's another B, but below Ladies Guardian. Space aliens. I kind of adore their character models. They look cute for some reason, and they also make me laugh whenever I see them in the Sand People cutscene of the Happy Wars story campaign. They just always make me laugh when they pop out at the very end of just the first episode. I wonder where our villagers disappeared to. And then pops into the right frame and it just gets me every time now. But still, jokes aside, and story campaign aside, the space aliens, they're also a mix of all warriors, mages, and classes. Except some of the warriors have Rocketmans and they don't have any armor. Oh, the entire team does even have armor, but they have that accessory, that stylish belt accessory, a super premium item. So do the clerks. The clerks have sanctuaries, and the mages, most of them have wind effects that they push you back with, and they're not that hard to deal with. Oh, wait, they're kind of hard if you just get them the first hit, or if you find multiple groups, they're hard. But still, if there's like a few quantity, or if you just know them, they're not that hard, really. But still, the big guy of the team, the creature, has a different face, has like an extreme smash effect, some high defense, of course, for not having any armor, because Toy Logic coded for them to have armor. Oh yeah, I'm still going, right? I'm still going. I just hope I don't get corrupted or anything. Space aliens, no formidable enemy for them either. Seems like an average playstyle, like something you would expect from like a mixed class team. Let's say Ladies Garden or Firefighters, or what other of these Gotnorn teams I have out here. Space Alien seems like a bit of an average team to fight against. And they're not really that hard. Well, from all the times I fought them, though, what would I say that this would be an easy team to fight if they don't have any armor? Just hit them a few times, get them out of armor. Yeah, I guess they're not that hard, but still, what about Ladies Garden? Ladies Garden could be harder than Space Aliens, but not as hard as Firefighters because they don't apply any armor. Oh, wait, I think this team also might have a goddamn meteor storm. Just a meteor storm. Another B. All right, we have the spooks or the ghosts that have a mix, but only in like a few of them. You know what? Actually, I only think there's like just the half the team's just warriors, and the other half of the team, mages, all have lightning chain effects that slow down people that run from them and such. They also have lightning strikes. And the warriors, not much to be said about the warriors, except they're kind of hard to beat. Yet they have no armor. So easy to kill unless you land the first hit on them. The first hit thing. And a combat ability. Oh wait, no, probably no need for first hit even if you screw up. There's some chance that they could just switch into a different string, that they're not going to keep doing an attack. Jeez. They're just going to go something else. And the big guy of the team, the Gaylord that I like to call in the story mode from the Chasing Princess chapter of the story campaign. I just like to call the Ghost King of Gaylord because he likes to, quote unquote, play with the people. He likes to play with people. Play. As in having fun in the bed. Play with people. And all right, I'm going to cut that out. The Ghost King of the entire team, he gives dispels, he heals, he has a KO effect, and can be kind of cheesy and screwed up. If he doesn't switch into a string, you're going to get KO cheese to death unless, with what I said before, KO effect armor, ambush reliever, or something to prevent KO effecting, or just stopping him at first stand so he doesn't get a combat advantage. I ranked this team up in B last time, but now how would I even think of it that they have lightning chain effects and they have that ghost healer doing most of dispel and healing the KO effect. And support him. I still think. Oh, it might be even easier than that. I'm going to say that, yeah, they're probably slightly easier. Well, at least I'm pretty sure this team doesn't even have a single team skill. So I think that's good. Do I really think that this team doesn't have a team skill? Because I just have a feeling that one of them could have a team skill. One of these freaking characters could have a team skill, and I don't even remember most of these teams. Because I feel like most of these mages on here, on like Wind Elemental or this team or that team, they probably could have like a goddamn team skill up their sleeve, and I don't even notice, and have trouble remembering. I'm going to say that they're at least a slightly easier team to deal with overall. Hopefully. No. Oh, great. Not necessarily easier than Blacksmith Helpers because of the Warriors and low on, but still easier than Later's Garden. We have the Wind Elementals, another team for some reason I like to call calm, somewhat spam. The stuff that comes out of men when they have fun activity, if you get my drift. Wind elementals. What can be said about the wind elementals? Of course, same thing I said with fire elementals. They of course have a mix of mages and warriors. The warrior not as powerful as like the fire elemental warrior Galveston or Gaveston, however you pronounce his name. He's not as powerful though, but he still has that winning chin effect. And you in the first hit priority, that's probably a big thing in Happy Wars in this old game of having first hit priority. In the wind elementals, in short, just use wind on you, that knock you back, and also have a tornado skill. And if you're playing with more people, there could even be more wind elementals that can sometimes even have wind traps for people to walk into, and they take eye damage from them, even in boost to a soul harvester that they could also insta kill for low magic defensive people. What do I say about the wind elementals? That they can shoot wind, have wind blast, and have warriors that aren't really powerful, but still the windy chin effect is like what considered by probably pro players, I presume, to be the best summon in the entire game, because not only that the magic attack power, let's just say your DPS is like, your magic attack power DPS is like 1,000. And how would it translate into the Winnie Chen effect? Not only that the Winnie Chen effect it doesn't just equally distribute 1,000 divided by 3 type of thing. It doesn't equally distribute 1,000 magic attack into 333 magic attack into each wind blast that comes out of that wind just shot. It just gives it to all 3. So using wind up close, you can deal extremely high amount of damage. And that's what makes the team kind of hard, is that if they walk up close to you slowly and not down smashing, but using a Winnie Chin effect on you, you're just going to get dealt with high damage, especially if there's 2 of them on like both sides of you and they keep wind cheesing you, and there's not much you can do about it unless you have a Winnie Chin wind resistance armor. Not much you can do about it, and you're most likely die if you get cheesed into a position. And what I stand by this team, having all this and annoying wind, I don't think that they're going to be medium. They're still kind of hard. Next up, crossdressers. They're just like Ladies Garden 2.0, but they also have a Happy Miracle and slightly stronger characters than that other team. Slightly stronger clerks, warriors, and mages. Are there mages in that crossdressers team? I'm not too sure, really. You know what? Yeah, I think there is mages involved in that team. There are mages if you are playing with more than the minimum of 6 people. I think there are mages that come into this team. For the most part, the clerks on the team, they have dispels. They could have resurrects. The Warriors could have rushes, cheer effects, and sometimes and unexpectedly high amounts of damage. And the defense, they seem kind of high, especially for the big person. The defense seems kind of rough for them. All right. The cross dressers also have a head honcho, which I like to call Ugly Transition, but her real name, Beautiful Transition, a huge berserker formidable enemy with berserker roar and an extremely punishing, damageable rush if you're not able to get away with it, or she can just mix it up into a spin instead, a double swing blade, and deals high damage. And of course, fire chain effect or something, but also you also have to be precise with your stun lock and attacks, because if at one point you just screw up your fire chain attack and there's like no other people to take the fall for you, you'll just be most likely greeted with a KO stun effect. I think it's a stun effect, a basic stun effect that she has on her weapons. You'll be just greeted with a 1, 2, 3, or a rush into a fucking spin, and you lose your entire fucking health bar by screwing up a goddamn stun lock combo. You cannot screw up a stun lock combo. It's okay to screw up a stun lock combo with any of the other teams. Oh, wait, I also forgot to mention that the Spooks had a goddamn formidable enemy, Rich Ghost. Dawn, I'm trying to remember all the teams. I'm probably losing attention span. I already want to get into the goddamn game. I don't really have time to prepare for this. The Rich Ghost on the Spooks team, you know. I think he has a charge attack that also can somewhat reach the radius of an entire castle if you don't get away from it. Or if you don't get to the top sides and avoid it. I forgot to mention about Rich Ghost. He has a pickaxe for some reason, which is supposed to be a clerk weapon. He has a roar, gold mustache, no armor. Still, there's only like little room for air for also but still, I don't know if the battle could ever go to time if the team's medium. All right, back to cross dressers. They're formidable enemy strong. They're power strong. They have slightly, at least stronger power, and just most likely an upgraded version of Lady's Guardian. Or Lady's Guardian, my bad. They have spins. Yeah, I think they mostly have spins. Just spins, high damage, or just moderately high. Their armor, I suppose. But still, they have some moderate armor, so they're not going to be easily killed as you think they would be compared to Lady's Guardian team, especially if they're also going to have a clerk beside them that just heals and also dispels all of your magic attacks for a mage. It's just kind of stressful, the 2v1 situation. Teams just way harder because they also have a formidable enemy and stronger power. And a skill team, I still stand by that they still go in C. But where on C, though? They're not easier than wind, not easier than fire, not easier than pizza delivery. They're just going to go to C. Pizza and delivery mostly has warriors and clerks. I don't think they have fucking mages. Oh my god. I really don't even know. I always have to try my hardest having to remember, yet I don't even have screenshots or notes for reference. I just need to get this video out the way. Alright, War Dogs. What can be said about War Dogs? A mixed team with warriors and mages in them. But the warriors and berserkers and mages is a mix of this team, and they're mostly specialized in lightning chain effects, rushes, Elias with that big goddamn spin of his that could unsuspectedly attack people and catch them off guard, Rambo's rush. But then also the unique property about this team are the mages. You would expect like a regular AI mage or even a regular player mage to just do things that a regular mage class would do, give chain effects. But the most important aspect, they're magic shots that just replace the block button because mages obviously do not use a shield and they can't block, so they just shoot with right trigger instead of the traditional block as a warrior or clerk. with the shield. But the thing about this fucking team, they don't even ever fucking do that. They apply lightning chain effects though, but the weirdest thing about them, they don't even do a magic shots at all. They only do lightning strikes and up close combat attacks, and they also just stand and look at the fucking player menacingly. Wait, are they just looking at you menacingly? No. They just stand there and just look at you and only do lightning strike casting effects. They don't even ever, for 1 second, even choose to do a freaking regular magic shot attack. That's just so weird why Tor Logic just took out the main aspect of what a mage should be and just turned it on its head, which is extremely weird. Because I can imagine trying to play a goddamn mage and losing to your most important aspect of what makes you, your magic shot. You're unable to do that. You can only rely on your goddamn lightning strike and close contact attacks and just a way worse combat class. Don't know why. It makes them easy to exploit and a vulnerable weakness that if you ever go up close to them and at least evade the lightning strike, they're just a free, open, wide pizza, Marco's Pizza delivery lunch that you could just easily kill. But the Warriors, they're not then to joke about either. Elias, the big person, apart from all the other Warriors and Berserkers that are in that team, that they rush, have some damage into them. Unsuspected rushes, of course, if you're not careful. Elias, on the other hand, though, Elias, he has a spin compared to the rest of them, so he doesn't rush. And at least he could be at least slightly easier to deal, with the bigger hitboxes and everything. But still, he can be at least a slightly easier warrior to deal with on the team compared to even the rest of the smallers ones. The formidable enemy for the team, Colonel, whatever that is. Or Colonial. I like to call Mr. Colonial, man. That mispronounced. He has a super guard, a shield charge, and a KO effect on his weapon. But also, a weird fact about this formidable enemy, you can also KO effect it, even if you attack it from behind, which is also a weird fact I found out when even fighting against Colonial. So it makes him at least one of the easier formidable enemies to fight. And what does the team rank? Expect with the wanky mage AI involved with this team compared to all the other mages AI, from the Spooks, Living Dead, or peace deliveries from the usual play styles of just magic shotting, that they just use lightning strikes instead of just go or just use the magic shots, or only use lightning strikes and just attacking up close if it's an option, and never using a magic shot feels kind of weird. The Warriors on the team, they can be kind of a pain to deal with. And of course, the force hit priority that if you don't do it, they're just going to get the rush on you, and you can most likely get killed from it if all of their hits from it connect. Or they're just going to have that freaking combat ability. And the formidable enemy might be a bit hard to deal with, but not the hardest, because it's not hard hitting, as it's mostly a defensive one. Where do they go? Not enough. But where would I say that this team even falls into? Fire elements, one elements, pizza delivery? Where do they fall into? Is it a medium team? Is it hard? Unless you would have to figure out a way. You know what? Okay. Here's one thing. I'm going to put it below firefighters. The weird janky mages. Still, if you can just get up close and get that first hit priority, I'm guessing with like a few players that the team can mostly be half mages. You know what? No, mostly a 4-2 ratio of mages on the team than there are warriors. I guess they're not that hard to deal with if you just can get the first priority or just evade the lightning strikes if you're in a corner situation. But if that would even matter anyway, if it's just the classic, if it's just the minimum 6-on-6 for co-op lobby, I'm going to say that they're just below medium. They're not that hard. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm back after a little break because I needed to get my brain to refresh on all these teams. Let's see what they do. Oh, and I accidentally took you out. I didn't mean to do that. Alright, I'm back after a break. Need to refresh my mind on what the teams could do and how easy and hard they could be. Just need a break. I don't know if I could even do this tier list in one sitting, so I took a small break I ate. Alright, I'm back. Where were we? And also, because of that accidental switch, I'm not doing. Never mind. The order is still the same. Firefighters, ninjas, clan, war dogs, ladies, spooks. Alright, I'm just looking here. I'm looking here and everything seems alright. But still, no, I might have to. For the D tiers, though, I might be considering switching Stargazers and 100-Year Sentence in the tier list spot because I realized something. I just flipping realized I don't even know which one I would even think is more dangerous to play against. Smash effects, they go far, high damage, even includes back attacks, rocket meds and smashes, but they don't completely one-shot if you have a high enough defense. Time to escape. Now I'm considering switching spots between 100-Year Sentence and Stargazers. Feel like the Stargazers could be a bit easier with the skill spam, but what about them? Dawn, just having to approach up close that one of them could do a skill, but then what about them? That is just, if they're even also 2v1, that's just it. I'm probably gonna switch up slots. Say something, I might digress. I might go back on this decision. Stargazers, it's probably about the up close combat type of action. That when you approach one up close, it gives you time to do an action that you would attack or you would continue to retreat. Intentionally alongside to give yourself battle space. Now I'm just digressing the rank. Stargazer's higher than 100-Year Sentence because they could be slightly easier because their attacks in one shot, but for 100-Year Sentence, you probably have to be on your guard. You can't screw up once. Alright, back to the ranking section. Do that one switch up. Oh man, oh fucking bad. This is just a debatable team that could go to D or F. And I don't know why the fuck I even bothered putting it in C. I'm such a young, dumb, fucking retarded teenager. This team, extremely debatable that I should even put in D or F. Extremely debatable. You know what? It's gonna go to D. But where in D? Damn, I'm not even know which one's even easier though. Which is easier? I'm just gonna say Living Dead's easier. Returning Mob Team, oh that's easy. I don't know why I even bothered to put it in C. Now I'm putting it in D because I realized something. So with the Returning Mob Team, the character models they look like from the story campaign, except without the wings or anything. Not those the first battle night or like duty whatever fucking mission that is in the story campaign. So they just have the regular warrior steel armor and the can head aesthetic to their Gotnorn characters, but they also have varying swords and shields, as all of them are warriors. But what makes this team extremely broken, what makes this team extremely broken is the high DPS attack power that they possess. And not only that, they can spam between fucking shield charging and rushing. And they're just going to be extremely deadly if one doesn't even know how to deal with them properly. And even if you try to have the first hit priority, they might as well just instead shield the hit or just transition to it into a shield charge or a rush, meaning that you would have to adapt to their fucking playstyle at their own will. You can't just switch it up to be whatever you want. Well, with a ranged mage class, you can, but not with a clerk or a warrior because you have to play it there to bad. What if you uppercut them? Okay, good for you, but still, what if they get a chance to fight back at you? What if they get a chance to just have some super armor priority off of using one of their moves on the startup of shield charging a Russian? What if that happens? That ain't good. Not only that, the returning mob team. Not only that, but they can benefit greatly from Soul Harvester boosting that they're going to get the entire game. Even if you kill Soul Harvester boost, the boost will still be given to them because I'm pretty sure Tor Logic has a bias for this fucking team being extremely good and no balance patches are just given. They're just that extremely powerful. It just makes every single game that you ever play against them extremely campy and timeout because it just feels impossible to even destroy the tower against them normally with just the quick. Also, I also forgot to mention they have a quick respawn speed, so even if you kill them 3 seconds or 2 fucking seconds later, even with the penalty repeatedly dying, they can just come back instantly. Seriously, I wonder what type of fucking psychopathic devs mind even going through we even bringing back this team and making it so quote unquote normal for newcomers or just fucking intermediates to try out and consider it a great experience. Kiss the devs ass, fucking dumb team. I don't know why. Whatever. Returning mobs in D tier. It used to be in C, but now I've demoted to D. Now I realized all the fucking campy battles I played with, and in rare times I even won against it, the tower destruction way. They were just mostly campy games from that point onward. Mostly campy games. It's just impossible to even get a regular tower destruction if they're that campy, have that quick respawn speed, and have high damage, and have spiel spam, just etc. etc. The list goes on for this fucking team being broken. They're also ranked extremely low for Living Dead, unlike Living Dead, who has at least like extremely low defense, that mean they can be easily killed, and yet even the goddamn damage and skills that they have does more to cover up the weakness. The returning mob has those skills and just super armor priority lag and shit Twilight gives them to even just do more than wake up for their defensive weakness and predictability. And the game's goddamn jankiness. It just does more to wake up to make up for their weakness. So yeah. So it's in D tier, lower than Living Dead. Next team, the Grapplers. The Grapplers, a team of just a mix of warriors and clerks with Ree. That's his name, Ree. Capital R, capital E and E, Ree, the huge clerk of the team. Also a KO effect cheeser because it feels like every other goddamn team that has a huge clerk gives them goddamn KO effect cheese. Well, except for like a few, including the easy teams such as Honey Hungry Bears and Super Chinese. Still, it feels like every other team I covered with a huge clerk has like a KO effect weapon because Tor Logic intentionally gave them a KO effect to not leave them particularly helpless in their combat abilities so they can just KO cheese a goddamn person that just comes up to them. Alright. Reed also, don't know what Reed has, really. But still, the smaller clerks, they apply armor to the warriors. The clerks, they're easy to deal with. They have no armor, but they have a helmet accessory. They have a helmet and the gunmetal accessory. And same thing with the warriors, only helmet and gun accessory, but also the dreadful rush. And I'm pretty sure they have high damage and back attack power, but still moderately low defense to hold them back. And also, Ree's also, is it Ree? I think Ree or the small clerks also give this team a fucking happy miracle, which also gives them an advantage of turning about around if they ever find themselves in trouble. The reason why this team is not in B tier. But then their defense can't even hold them down to even go to any lower than D or F. Still, they are a hard team in C. But where do they rank? That you would just have to do the same strategy as every other team of just rushing down first hit priority. Just the main thing of Happy Wars of just rushing down. And like that one quote in Sacred Legacy in the intro, your only chance to defend is to attack first. Obtain the technology from within, but what technology is there to attain? It's just all about ignore the second part. It's just the only chance that you even have to against them. You have to attack first. You have to make the first move. And you have to hit them quickly, which is why you see me in most of my Happy Wars games I even played with my main account and alt account. So I just rush down teams like that, or even go at raids with mage classes and just hit them as quickly as possible to even get that priority. And I can just lock them down so that they don't get a chance to do their shit. So a pretty powerful team with warriors, but with extra clerks, that's not kind of good. And especially with increased lobby size rather than the minimum 6 in the whole lobby, T seems kind of hard. They're not medium, and they're not harder, though. But still, it's a freaking formidable team. Where do they rank, though? They're definitely going to go to C tier, but they're not. They're harder than wind. They're harder than fire. They're harder than this. Could they be harder than cross-dressers? Could they be harder? A roar and a rush that's also exists in Living Dead. I guess and they could possibly be harder than just fucking C tier with all that wankiness and bullshit that they have going on in that team. That includes a Happy Miracle, a Rush, a Roar, Heal, Armor Applying. That team's not easy for the average intermediate. They're not just going to get a deathless game so luckily unless they're playing a supportive passive clerk that can't even kill. Or an extremely campy mage that can't even do high damage. It's just extremely campy even with low defense, but still, that they stick together, they do AI things that they do for the past 13 years that existed in the game. I don't know if these teams were even added. They were added. I shouldn't worry. The grapplers are going to probably go in like low C tier and almost to a staggering high B tier. Because I fought this team, they have stun effects for the warriors, I believe, a KO effect to protect that huge clerkery. They're not easy for an intermediate to overcome. They would just have to think a little bit more than just instantly just out the gate, oh, I know what to do. If it's their first time. Even keeping the dead game alive. And I'm messing up my goddamn tier spots. Can't believe I'm dragging that with my thumb. Alright, grapplers, low C, almost D. Even below cross-dressers for that matter. Or you know what, actually? Are they slightly easier? No, both of them have Happy Miracles. They can do at just 1 point. And both have formidable enemies. Except, I think grapplers have at least a slightly easier formidable enemy, which is Kung Fu Bear, that can dispel Sanctuary and Smash Effect. And Soup Arm, and of course you need Fire to even take on those type of entities. You know, yeah, I think they're just going to be probably easier, but not as easy as pizza delivery. All right, next up we have the Crazy Tornado Plus team, or what I like to refer to them as Beyblades, because them just spinning and attacking up to be like attack types with that aggressive flat rubber performance to bottom or driver from various Beyblade generations, if you get what I'm saying. They just remind me of that, and not only that, they just spam it like hell with double spinning blade. So Crazy Tornado Plus, I think I rank this D&D tier because of their just capability of just shutting down, instantly able to shut down and lock down fucking opponents once they just start a fucking skill spam attack. It just reduces a fucking skill gap and just takes away like fucking 4+ years of experience that the game's probably been out for, of just learn how to deal with enemies in neutral or in a freaking just battle setting, just an approaching battle setting. It just takes away years of experience and just looks like all of your fucking experience as a slap to the face. Because why learn if you can just walk up to people and learn how to fucking spin? All of them are berserkers. Well, except if you play with more than 6 people, then there's also included with some Zephyrs in it too that can also do Cyclones and apply Windy Chain effects to the Beyblades that give them a bit of a stronger effect. Not much can be said that they just have moderate average attack power, but then low defense. But still, worst part about it, the move, the double swing blade move, it comes out like frame 2 and frame 3. That's like one of the fastest goddamn skill executions in the Happy Wars game. That's like one of the fastest skills and also extremely safe. Even if it's blocked, because they have just a chance to opt out on it. It could just be super armor from the game being old or whatever. It's an extremely safe move and extremely powerful. And it's extremely exploitable. The ball. Well, of course, for one thing, though, when fighting against the Beyblade team that's full of berserkers and they're extremely deadly and bullshit, well, one thing to do is just keep running. You know what, actually, another freaking wanky thing about this team, too, apart from in War Dogs, and that the mages in War Dogs, the police mages, that don't even magic shot at all, with the Crazy Tornado Plus, unless they're in Hell's Challenge, they don't even build. They just skip building and go straight into just the attacking phase. They just skip the towers and attack the goddamn players. If they're dead, they can go to the tower and not even build. They're kind of hard to deal with. Sometimes I even seen them fucking take off games with just that one fucking button and just reducing the skill gap between the players and themselves with just a skill gap. I might have freaking lost a few of these games in my lifetime of just playing this game. I might have lost a few to this fucking team because of just the one move they exploit and abuse. Well, one thing to do is just to probably keep running and run until you feel like you're at a comfortable distance to start attacking back or do an uppercut. But then you would also have to be quick about it, because if the Beyblades aren't getting close to their fucking target, they'll just start becoming impatient and instead dash attacking toward the target and then spinning after. You have to be quick about it too, or you would do it, otherwise they would get impatient. Cyclone, the big Beyblade out of all, he just tends to get impatient if he's not within the target's distance, that he'll just start dash attacking and then finally go to doing a freaking spin attack. So yeah, formidable enemy, Tornado Junkie, of course, Berserker Yell, extremely strong Beyblade spin compared to the rest, frame 1 move. Not a very easy team, as I stand, it's a D tier team. But how hard of a D tier team is it going to be if they at least just have somewhat exploitable no defense? If predicted, except for new intermediates that don't have enough defense to just completely cheese it. Shield attacking or much? What could I give them? Where could I even put them? I guess, of course, yeah, I'm going to put them in D tier, but still, I don't see them at least the same difficulty degree of Stargazers or 100-Year Sentence if they just spam it. And the weakness can be easily exploited, so it's in White Hot yet again. Next team, Western Gunman, another fucking D tier team. Jesus, this is just almost looking like my exact time that I just keep getting these fucking teams every time. No, it's not enough. I needed to place it there. It's just like it's just like most of my goddamn time when I go into co-op mode and then I just run to these fucking teams nonstop and rarely get like an easier team to fight. I just run into them nonstop. No such thing as a fucking goddamn B tier and an A tier and an S tier. Only just the lower 3 tiers. I just never get to fight them because their logic knows how much I fucking hate it. It'll just do it to just fucking tease me. Don't mind me. Alright, what about Western Gunmen? Western Gunmen, extremely powerful warriors that shield attack. Most of them somewhat have gotten on Rocket Man and spin attacks and just high damage that make them a D tier team. And even if you try and counter them, you'll still get countered back by them just holding up shield just with more frames quickly, because that could just be incompetence in inhuman capability of just holding up shield on the frame you're just attacked. And reading frame data in this game could just be non-existent because I don't even think no one has even bothered to make a video about uncovering the frame data of this fucking game or a website. It's just extremely complicated how frame data works of them just holding up the shield at the exact time you attack. We're just kind of fucked up. Or just walk up to you or to attack if they're 2v1 you, which makes it even worse. And also, to top it all off, if playing with more players, not only the team just has extremely high damage racking warriors with also moderate defense too, that holds them from being a C, they also have mages that also give them fire chain effects. And like I said before, with fiery chain effects, with fire elementals, they're just absolute hell to fight against if you do not have a way to deal with them. They're absolute hell. If you can't go up closer, just do an uppercut extremely quickly, but then the fireballs come out literally frames faster than you just uppercutting or just knocking them out of it, especially if they're in groups. Western gunmen, they're not easy to beat, especially if they're going to get boosted by Soul Officer. That makes them even a whole lot worse. So, of course, Western gunman goes in D, but not in F because I need to place it somewhere while I need to talk about it so I can stop making my teams go everywhere. How hard is this team? Well, at least compared to Stargazers, they don't have that super armor bullshit. They're just slightly easier, but not as easy as Crazy Tornado Plus, though. Oh, geez. I feel like I already want to rank down Returning Mob even lower. Just so many... my memories are just flooded. Just dreadful memories are flooding of how many times I fought this team and what they could do and how much lower I could have ranked them on the tier list. But then exploitable weaknesses. But what if they just do it and they just mix up their opponent? They're not just going to spam the same thing every time. They're just going to mix it up. Makes them unpredictable too. I'd want to rank them lower. I want to 100% rank them lower though, because of how unpredictable they can be at sometimes. I already just feel tempted to rank them lower. Jesus. Alright, lower than Crazy Tornado, lower than Western Gunmen, Returning Mob Team, almost to Stargazers and Under Your Sentence. Alright. Next team, alright. Finally, another low mid-tier team. We have the Sand People. And of course, from the story campaign, from what this seems like, mostly likely based off of, from the story campaign of Sand People, a mix of all warriors, clerks, but then only one mage, which is supposed to be the leader of the Sand People, Uga. I think that's his name. Yeah. All the names sound like a baby. Gaga. Yeah, freaking Babylonian language. A pun. Play words with Babylonian language. So for the Sand People, one unique trait about them, extremely high damage in warriors that roar and rush, but then also extremely low defense. The lowest defense compared to all the co-op teams. They have like the lowest defense out of all of them. And they can easily at least be killed if they just mess up at least one of their combos. That's just what holds them back from being extremely hard and white hot though. So it's even lower than the Living Dead or Returning Mob Team. The Warriors aren't that low. But then the clerks on that team have they can armor apply. They're easy to deal with. They're not that special. And same thing for the mages. They don't think they do any lightning strikes. I want to believe. No lightning strikes. Just like the Sand People zombie mages. As with the Living Dead mages, they don't apply any chain effects. They just shoot the regular fireballs, and they're extremely easy to deal with. And the big mage leader, extremely high defense, can easily destroy tactical weapons, but still low damage output, as he is a tank. And we have the formidable enemy, the Carvian Bandit, or Gagu Gagu. Probably another entity tag name for it, I suppose. Also, an extremely easy to kill and one of the lowest defensive formidable enemies out of all the teams, make it extremely easy to kill if you can just get it in like one weakness or a cheesing spot and just exploit it. But still, high damage, high smash power. But then if you can just find that one weakness, you can also, I think it could also somewhat KO affect it if hit from behind. Then it becomes extremely easy. But overall, if you even fight this team, you just got to watch out for the warriors. Of course, keeping the clerks and mages in check, and especially that Sand Lita. Yeah, I think they go to C. Or, oh, great. Oh, that might be a hot take that I even put that up to B. Are they really a medium team? They don't have a Chen effect. They don't have a team skill. But they do have a formidable enemy. And they could be quite annoying to fight. With all the warriors just all over the place. I wouldn't say that they're easy, but still, I'm going to say they're just at least extremely easy. They're going to be at least almost medium, just on top of C tier, but then harder than wind elements, if you can somehow find a way around them. Next team, we have the Cursed Buccaneers. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. The Cursed Buccaneers. All right. You know what? Hold on. Give me a second. What is that word? Buccaneers?
Buccaneers?
Buccaneers. All right. Thank you for Google Translate with that pronunciation. Cursed Buccaneers. This team just composed of just a split between mages and warriors that also war in rush. It feels like they just have repetitive skill types being added to all these teams over and over. They literally can be original creative to give one team at least what? They can't even be creative to give a team a charge attack. I also forgot to mention for the Western Gunmen that some of the warriors also have a charge attack on the rocket and a spin. They also deadly for the Western Gunmen. Can't even be creative to come up with something else. Like, what if the warriors have are just stone throwers and have a... Never mind. There's not even that much fucking skill options to work with. All right, forget what I said. Cursed Buccaneers. So the mages on the team, they have icy chin effects. They can freeze people with them. They also have lightning strikes and blizzards that they can do to clear space and clear crowded people. Deal damage to them. You know what I'm saying? But the Cursed Buccaneers mages, though, also have a weird property, too. If they're also castle defending and they see people go undertaken or just backdooring their castle, though, they, for some reason, just stand on top of the, just near the artillery weapons, the tactical weapons that could just hold out the intruders. They just stand there and they do Blizzard. I just do not know what's with the fucking AI even thinking that Blizzard's going to reach when it's only clearly in like the radius on like the ground they're standing from. It's not going to reach downward like it's what? It's not going to reach fucking down like it's going to be the Happy Miracle that reaches upward. Downward. No, that doesn't make sense. I do not know why, but for some reason they just like to stand on top of the castle and do blizzards. And they're just giving players free entry. But then sometime the AI level decreased to go back to doing a lightning strike and actually defending. The Warriors, they're just a whole nother story. They rush, they roar, they do not have weapons, they have shark heads. Their character models look weird, and they don't even have... God. Who do I even think is easier, though? I just wonder why these teams even are like this. And I don't know why the heck I even do a revision video. Oh, yeah, right. I need to do a revision video to clear up all the vagueness from my last video. And it felt wrong that these teams even deserve to be there. Cursed Buccaneers, Warriors, they roar, they rush, they have shark heads, saw extra boost benefits. When fighting in like a huge lobby, they can be probably especially known to deal with if they're just gonna just start up to use their fucking rush as always. But their damage, they don't deal very high damage, at least compared to other warriors. Their damage isn't that great unless they're just rushing. They don't have very great damage output. They can at least be somewhat formidable and easy to beat and just regular combat without them using the skills. They were somewhat just medium to easy to beat. But still, you got to watch out for their rush or just wait for them to do a rush, then counterattack. And the mages, you rush down on them if you want to fight them. And with warriors, just the one-hit rush down, you just know it all. This team I ranked in C because of how hard it is. With the rushes and the ice chains, I might believe they could be moved up to B tier. Because after seeing the team many times now and seeing what they could do, I also forgot to mention that the big person of the team, a shark warrior war rush, but still you can have an extended hitbox because of the big size. I don't want to say that they're freaking medium though. The mages are dumb, but the warriors feel hard to deal with. I think oh god, I also forgot to mention that the shark warriors also have a stun effect on their weapon. They can hold their people in place to do their rush. Never mind. They'll just be at least labeled a gotten on our team. Hopefully I don't have every other team going to see our tier. There has to be a way to redeem them or even make them worse. Alright, next team, Agents. Agents in black. Agents that are mostly composed of just lots of Zeppers, with the exclusion of just a huge warrior, Agent Thompson, a female Zepper agent, Agent Jones, and then the only clerk on the team that has a sanctuary and a dispel, Agent Brown. As with every other Agent Zepper on the team, an agent, hopefully the YouTube captions don't get this wrong. With the agents on the team, though, they just have a mix between wind or icy chain effects that they can do, and then they also have lightning strikes. They also have some moderate or a moderately high amount of defense, so it can be quite hard to kill them now, since they don't have, of course, the regular shield. They're just required to kill to compensate without their shield because they probably would purposely be giving them low defense if it was a different team. And yet they would only give high defense if it's just with mages that don't have that much defense now. And with Agent Jones, the same thing with the other agents, but still, what's best for her is because she has a wind trap that also deals high damage though. And I think the agents could probably have a high dealing damage wind trap too, if I must believe. High dealing damage especially can catch off people who don't have high magic defense on their characters, such as me, because I try to do magic defense up 2 armor on like almost every character I build. It doesn't really seem to work that well, because what's the value of fucking defense if everything hits for so hard? That's the question I'm wondering. We have Agent Brown. I already went over him. And then we have Agent Thompson with, of course, the extended hitbox for being a huge warrior. And the annoying rush, too. Not very easy to fight either if he's going to have super armor priority. Or you have to hit him first, otherwise he'll hit you. And he'll hit you fucking hard. He might even go to a spin or a rush in one of his strings. They also benefit extremely greatly from Slaughter, make them impossible to beat. They also happen to have a gotten on meteor storm, which makes them even also harder to deal with. Especially, I even had campy games against them. They are not a very easy team to fight against. But still, not the closest up close combat unless they're around Agent Thompson. I'm going to say that they're, of course, going to end up in C tier, but almost below cross dressers if you can't get up to them on time. Otherwise, they'll just use some goddamn skills, and you'll get killed way earlier than you just believed to be. They're almost in D. Another team, we have the big family that I like to keep calling this joke team, but now that I realize I could just name them to a different team because of all the little children warriors that I wish they could be molested by Edie. Because I want to see how they roar when they move. All the baby children warriors on Big Family, though, they just roar. And you know what that roaring reminds me of? Loud. Extremely loud. But it's just a reference to the Nickelodeon show that I would have even nicknamed this team the Loud House team. Big family of the Loud House that they like roaring. So with that team, a mix between all the classes, of course, but this time majority of them are warriors that are, of course, the children, boy warriors that like to roar. They are also extremely quick, one of the quickest teams in the entire game in the normal difficulty. They're probably the fastest that they can run up to you. So even if you try to run from them trying to roar you, they can just catch up to you quickly. And yet, in return, they probably have low defense. Next, we have the clerks, which there are only like two on the team, which are John and Catherine, the young clerk units on the team, that they just heal and nothing more. They just only heal. And sometimes they also backdoor if they ever get the chance because of the weird AI property that they're not going to play the game normally. They'll just borrow that backdooring strategy from the fucking player team in quick matches. And finally, we only have one mage on the team, which is Mama, the only mage on the team with a fiery chain effect broom, a meteor storm, lightning arrows, but still easy to deal with and can leave herself vulnerable, even when she's doing a lightning strike or when she's not attacking or when she's not around like warriors that protect her. And for Papa, he's also a big warrior I forgot to mention, but extremely fucking deadly and devastating. And he, of course, has a roar, a Rocket Man, and no cooldowns on his Rocket Man, so he can just use it like 2 times in almost 1 second if the first one misses. Or he can just do a spin into it or smash just a bunch of stuff that a warrior would ever goddamn dream of having. Every intermediate warrior could even be that dominant in quicks or co-op, depending on which sitting that they like to be in. They also happen to have a formidable enemy named Big Grandma, the only berserker on the team too, with the roar, spin, and rush, which feels kind of repetitive from Ugly Transition. Oh, geez. But then for Ugly Grandma, though, Ugly Grandma doesn't have a stun effect unlike Beautiful Transition from Crossdressers. And overall, the dynamic of fighting this team, extremely difficult if you're going to get screwed over by like a roar instantly in like the first 5 seconds of combat. And then Papa just comes in and just fucking kills you. Or will just target anyone he wishes if you're not just prepared to deal with it, though. I remember putting this team in C, but where does it rank now? Is it worse than Asians? Is it worse than this team or that team? Are they worse? What could they be? They're almost as worse, so I'm going to almost put them in C tier and almost a D tier team. Oh, great. But then, I guess you don't have that campy of games if you're playing in a minimum of 6-player lobby, but in a freaking huge lobby, let me fucking tell you of how many goddamn, just mostly 80% of just an 8-2 ratio of how many fucking campy games I played against a full team of Big Family. how many freaking campy games I play. A meteor storm, this and that. The teams hard to beat. Intermediates could probably have trouble. Even if with the low defense, they would just have to do more than make up their weakness with what they can do. Quick move speed, roaring. Even if you would just attempt to run for being a supportive passive character, you're just most likely going to die. Unless you find a way to fight back against them. This team could go up to C tier yet again, but even lower on this tier list. All right, I might. Oh, okay. Another hot take that I have for the tier list: they could possibly go down to white hot because they're that powerful of a damn team to fight against. And how much campiness there just has to be when fighting them too. Unless if I'm not around your lobbies, well, good luck fighting them because they at least have some dynamic on how I could fight them. But still, you just be keeping your cool and be careful because I almost want to put this goddamn team to C to D if it's with all those campy and quick respawn attacks. Damn. All right. Do I really want to put them in white high for seeing how insane they are? Yeah. No, not necessarily. I almost want to put it in D. I'm just tempted to put it in D. I'm kind of tempted that I want to put this in D now. But really, do I want to put it in D? Even for the goddamn powerful veteran players like Godpron or Deity King, that they could somewhat have a way of just dealing with them normally without having to have to try that hard and just end game. Oh man, that seems difficult. You know what, actually? Alright. First time in history, I need to put them in D. I'm just trying to go off of just intermediate stuff and beginner, not veterans, because I don't know, or just pro players, because I don't know why the heck I even keep referring to it. Well, Big Family's been just demoted to a D plus white hot team. Intermediates or just a fully newcomer lobby with a few intermediates, they're probably screwed. And they're most likely going to have to rely on camp if they want to win. All right, next team, Forest Friends. Just like Honey Hungry Bears was like a full team of just funny little happy miracle clerks, but with mages. Funny little clerks of bears, but then they're with mages that represent mouses, rats, or dogs as part of the Forest Friends, as the team claims it is. All right, so a mix between, of course, clerks and mages. You have just the regular clerks that you see from the Forest Friends, but then they have a different programmed AI compared to their Hungry Bears counterpart, is that they undertake. They just backdoor at the first hand, and if they're killed, they'll just go back, but if they're not killed, they'll just probably continue to undertake, which is somewhat unique, but still extremely easy to defeat, and they shouldn't be that hard unless they're 2v1 or they have a fucking mapping miracle. They are extremely easy to beat without a team skill. Oh, wait, but then they do have a team skill. Why the fuck did I say that? But the mages, they're a whole different story. They apply fire, ice. They can lock you down with either one of them. You need to rush down and kill them instantly before they get a chance to. They're not that easy. They're not that hard to beat. So I wouldn't even consider putting it in C tier. But not necessarily easy if they have the mages that back up their terrible combat power spec with all the pro players. Oh, wait. But then intermediates, they have like at least an easy time fighting against them. Unless you have the mages in the fucking equation now. They might be even easier than blacksmith helpers. They don't have a formidable enemy. But what about with Sorcerer? If you can just rush them down. Just simply rush them down in the mages and everything. Darn, are they easier than blacksmith helpers? I'm wondering. Does that mean that just makes them easier though? Are they easier? I am tempted to say that they're somewhat easier. But are they? All right, Jeopardy music ran out. No, no way. They have up close. They can easily be beaten. But then if it's with the fucking mages, it's a whole different story. Because it's also RNG on what mages. It's also just random on which mage uses fire and ice. They're just not going to alternate between the two. One of them will only just stick with one, and one will just stick with the other. Okay. Maybe by looking at the costumes with like the brown rat head. The brown rat headed, mages on that team, they always go for fire. And for the mouse ones, they always go with ice. I guess it's. But still, if you just rush them down, they don't deal high damage, so you can easily rush down. Intermediates can find a way through it. I'll just say that they're easier. Almost up to A. Oh, you know what? Speaking of Beyond A, we have Super Chinese, of course. And just like the last tier list iteration, the easiest team of all co-op teams because of just their extreme helplessness in their combat ability and ways to support. So you start off with the minimum 6 lineup, though. You start off with the minimum 6 lineup. They're just nothing but clerks. They heal. They have dispels, sanctuary, smash effects, but extremely low stats. And a weird combo string. They're extremely easy to beat. They're just god darn a newcomer's paradise. If I say so myself, and an intermediate's paradise to even just get to training. I know you could just easily destroy their opponents. They don't have a formidable enemy either, even with a sorcerer boost or a death boost. Yeah, somewhat complicated, but still a very easy fucking team to fight against if they're not supported by anyone, though. So they, of course, maintaining their original place like last time in effortless S tier, extremely easy. Make sure you get the new people to fight this team so that they just know what to do and they don't have to really be so they don't have to stress this. At least, I just wish Toy Logic would just have to do some sort of team order, just a descending team order of just how on the difficulty of them as they pursue themselves. They would just start with Super Chinese and then end with Dynamic Knights and then loop it. If they made that goddamn team order in co-op, it would have been just way better for the game, I will say. So Super Chinese, of course, S tier. Next team, Samurai Clan. Oh, Jesus, that team. This team, it was a D tier team. It's definitely gonna stay in D. Let me explain why. So just as with the Ninja Clan, but this time it's mostly samurai. And if you play with more than 6 people, you can get to see the ninjas present, but there's only like a few of them, as most of the team is just the samurais with higher defense and attack power, rocket mans and spins, and especially that zombie guy with freaking lots of 2,000 gotten on attack power. An extremely tanky, goddamn big warrior on top of that too. They also have that formidable enemy, which is serial killer, a berserker with dual katanas, a spin attack, berserker roar, sword throw, and can of course be fire cheese. And you would have to do, of course, just as with every other formidable enemy berserker, you have to do strict and precise timings, otherwise they can break free and they just as easily counter frame one. Literally frame one with just any fucking move of just a spin or any other thing, or you just get killed instantly with just what one frame length they can do. You just have to be precise with the stun lock, and otherwise it will not work. Or just keep your distance with lightning. Whatever works. So of course Samurai Clan's gonna go in D, but how hard should it be? Still. They don't have super armor though, so I wouldn't say they're that hard. But the high defense that they contain and high damage that they deal. And they're not that really fast though in skill spamming. I just might say that they're just slightly easier than Stargazers in under Q sentence and D. All right, then we got another team The ice elementals, or what I like to call the sperm fulfilled or cum team, because when they shoot their ice balls, it just almost looks like they're spewing cum. And when that ice lands, if it doesn't even hit a target, it just spreads out and looks like little cum droplets. I don't know why. I'm just a weird person, aren't I? Just ignore what I'm saying. That I like to freaking refer to the team as a cum team. I refuse to refer to them as ice because there's just no way they would just allow this shit to pop in a teen-rated game. That the ice obviously looks like cum. So of course with the ice elementals team, the same logic that falls with all elemental teams, mages, mostly mages, and some warriors. But then what makes this also different, also compared to spooks, is that they don't have a warrior big person. As with spooks having the Ghost King Gaylord big person, they have the Ice Demon person from the Happy Wars story campaign, of course, that also has high anti-material damage. Freaking cum freezing power. Blizzard, as with all the other mages, the ice elemental mages on the team have Blizzard, but they also have warriors that have ugly at the first part of their name. Ugly snowman, ugly, yeah, you just name it. And they also have two variants of the ice mage, with one just having that robe and the pointy hat, but with the other not having any armor at all, instead having a cat paw and a cat on, or instead just also having a cat headgear too, and the goddamn smiling eyes. They also can benefit extremely high from Soul Harvester if he ever appears in the game, and it turns almost every single game into a campy game if Soul Harvester appears for the cum team, and it's probably 99% of that case that rarely becomes an easy win game if Soul Harvester's in. And they really just can't be tower ended that easily. And it might, for intermediates though and newcomers, it would just be absolute hell having to figure out how to just fight them. And the first hit priority is definitely the answer to even fighting this team. Otherwise, they can just get stuck in the cum unless they wiggle their stick back and forth, like a task machine or humanly possible to even get out of the cum lock. Or they can at least be easily countered with ice resistance if ice resistance armor buff if you have one. So we won't have to worry about being locked in their cum. They just become somewhat of a helpless team afterwards, except the warrior that has a roar and just warrior stuff, really. Where does the team rank? I would just put this in C, but still, after finding the team, if you have ice resistance armor, they just seem pretty helpless, but still they are kind of a hard team. You have to rush down immediately and kill otherwise. They're not that hard as a team I even think they would be, but they're not medium, but they're not that extremely hard and white hot or nothing harder than that. They're not as hard as they just initially seem, but still they go to hard tier. But how hard? Mostly harder than like all the elements behind pizza and delivery, grapplers, agents, cross-dressers. How hard are they? I think I fought in these teams definitely a couple of times, and what could be understood from intermediate or newcomer players are suspected from just having a 5 team, but then, yeah. I'm just going to say that they're almost harder. They're just much harder than you think, though, if you're going to get trapped in that cone, if you can't rush them down really. But then the low defense holds them back unless you get first. And, alright. Maybe somewhat easier somehow if you get the 1-hit priority. Yeah, people like to go for the 1-hit priority. Depending on what map they're on, they can just somehow manipulate the team. That they just stand there and not do much. Alright. Next team. Oh, geez. Now we definitely have the hardest team of the entire game, as we have the easiest team of the entire game. The Denoptics, of course. No introduction needed. It just goes right into F, the nothing harder tier, the hardest team of normal. The team at most has an absurd fucking amount of defense, which is 2,000 regular defense, but then extremely low magic defense though. But that really wouldn't even be the case that as they make up for more than they've gotten on lackluster magic defense if they can just approach people up close. That most what, actually all of them are warriors and have like different shields. Different shields. Well, I think they do have varying shields and weapons depending on who it is. Like Zyria, of course, the main warrior. The huge warrior, of course. Has a spin and guard attack. And some of them have Rocket Man, some have Super Guard. Some of them have a rush, but they deal like low damage. But the defense is just more than to make up them. Even if you fight them in groups or just use skill spam, and especially from their head honcho, the Dynamic Paladin, that has a charge attack and a rush. And you have to be precise with them too, because otherwise you just screw him up like hell. There's just no way a freaking intermediate or newcomer would just even consider this like an easy time to fight against this team. As if they're going to stall long enough for the time that they kill the others. Or even if the others are alive, they have time to also attack you from on to get double attacked. They are not an easy team to fight. They are exceptionally not a white hot or a hard or a medium team. They're just extremely hard to fight because of their high defense. And even if you have magic attack power on them, it still feels like they're taking 0 damage from fucking magic attacks, even from their goddamn character description that they have only 100 magic defense. But then this is, of course, proven a lie when you go to attack them because of how fucking manipulative Logic has to be with hiding the goddamn stats, making them look like it's just divided by 10 of what their original amount could have been. 1,500 magic defense, shaking my head. All right, next team, Super Robots. They're just almost like the same iteration of Space Aliens. Accessories, skills, and team setup with a mix of warriors, clerks, and mages. But they're all robots with yellow skin. And especially only 2 mages in that entire team that are also purple in color and have some high durability on them too. All I wanted to point out. And you also have like lightning chain effects or fiery chain effects that they can just change to. With the regular mages, robot mages doing that too. The clerks, they have carrier effects, I believe. The clerks, I don't know. I don't think the clerks have carrier effects. They probably just have sanctuaries and can heal. And for the robots, they probably have rocket mans and lightning chain effects. So weapons that can slow down people. Solar boost makes them deadlier. Super robots are almost like a normal team now. I will give them that. They really shouldn't be that hard to fight except for the mage, though. If you play with like only a few people, there's like only mostly warriors and just only like a few clerks and only 1 mage in that team for the big purple mage. They're just kind of normal. I was talking about this team before of how freaking hard it is, but then it's just a low defense. But how easy are they? Oh, wait. A team skill that they have? No, I don't believe it. They're not that hard. I would say that they're just... No. They're clones, I'm just going to say, but then they're slightly higher than the aliens. And but then the warrior class has to be so made and dominant in this game. I'm just going to say that they're slightly easier on Ladies Garden. So medium team, that used to be hard, but now I consider it medium from what I'm looking at here. And big family, I probably want to put back up to C. All right, we're only 3 teams to go, and then I can finally play the Godstone game. All right, Hungry Bears, as of course, Easy tier placement, the only A tier easy team, as opposed to extremely weak combat ability, but then the Happy Miracle skill that they can easily exploit, even like a larger lobby that's only Clerk Bears. That just holds them back from being S tier. Extremely easy, no formidable enemy. Something that intermediates, definitely a team that intermediates and newcomers can pick a part of and see how how the game could at least be played. Hungry Bears on the easy A tier team, but not effortless. And then next up, Team Casino, the gambling team, and and I love me some god darn, Twitch online casino gambling range compilations that I just fucking watched like weeks ago, and I enjoy how people lose their minds over just gambling that they shouldn't even have. Whatever. Well, at least don't get addicted to gambling. Life lesson, at least. Otherwise, you're gonna end up like me that also gambled on a fucking team-rated 13-year-old game on this with the happy cards and limited edition with 9-weighted 300 DPS armor weapons, 4-weight accessories. All right, I'll just cut myself off. Oh yeah, just checking everything to make sure it's all right. Team Casino, Team Casino. I'm pretty sure that they could be at least much harder, somewhat at least a bit harder than the agents because of differentiation. So Team Casino, mostly mages and just a mage only team. Of course, there are misters and misses with that the tuxedo elegant outfit as a mage, and yet some of them aren't even females because you can still hear the male lines play behind them because depending on where you wear the elegant outfit, it can also be the princess outfit from the Happy War story campaign if you make your character male or female. But yet they would just have to make the characters male while making the facial features look like a female and also the hair at the same time just to have the outfit on him. But then just an off-sounding voice clip of a male with a female look. Trans reference? Transgender? All right, Team Casino. They are definitely a hard team, and they're harder than agents. They have differentiations of just defense and magic defense. I guess it's why it tends to name T Casino because the team has differentiating of just high magic defense, low regular defense, but then also high defense and low magical defense. They just have different orders of that. And even some of them have regular high physical defense, high physical attack power, almost one of the highest compared to all the other co-op team mages, but then also extremely high magic attack power that can hit KO most low magic defensive intermediates and newcomers. OKO, 1 KOs. And they do not have a formidable enemy, but then Soul Arbiter's there to fucking help them if they ever need it, and they become extremely powerful to beat and extremely campy, but then also almost a D tier team. And Big Family, I kind of want to put them up to D tier, C tier. But still, I want them to be in low tier, but then the low defense, I'm not sure. All the games I play with them, they feel campy. No, they deserve to be down in D. All right, last but not least, the team that I forgot to include in my last video because I forgot them with all the screenshotting I tried to get for all the teams. We have the Ninja Clan. At least somewhat easier than the Samurai Clan, but still, I had a dead team. And with me, quote unquote, saying, a high C tier team, you just need simple evasion, I guess. I did not do my fucking research. And with Ninja Clan, they just walk up to you. They're extremely fast. They have good construction speed. They walk up to you and they spin. They fucking do a spinning blade like the goddamn Beyblade, but then they don't even spin it that frequently, do they? They're only gonna do it, yeah, never mind. They fucking do it if they're up close to you, and it makes them even just somewhat slightly worse than the Beyblades. that they just have faster walk speed and just dash and just movement options to get to you if they're not going to get though. But then they just have also lower defense than Beyblades. The big guy Hanzo, extremely high defense out of all of them, hard to kill. But then also when playing with more players, you can see some of the Samurai Clan, Samurai Warriors present. The Formidable Enemy, Ninja Slayer. Wait, what? Ninja Master. What is the Formidable Enemy's name? It's like someone's different. It's different, but then it can't be Ninja Slayer because that's supposed to be the name of the other team. I seriously don't fucking remember, for Christ's sake. Ninja Master, whatever. Formidable Enemy, different from the one in Samurai Clan, but this time it's a warrior. The same weapon. It can charge attack. It's also extremely quick, but then also low defense. I think you might also have to be precise because you can be easily countered with just a frame 6 charged attack that doesn't even be charged all the way, or he just goes to shield or just target someone else. No, not enough. This team, of course, not a high C tier team because I'm pretty sure if intermediates can't even deal with quickness, they're just most likely screwed anyway. Where do they rank though? How easy would I consider them to be with the low defense? At the time I got targeted by most of them, and they walked up to me and just easily killed me like hell. I'm just going to say they're slightly harder than grapplers. Well, all right. That is the new 2025 tier list of Happy Wars co-op difficulty teams. That's the 2025 Happy Wars co-op teams difficulty tier list with fixed sizes. So there it is, of course. And as I said, link will be in the description. That if you disagree with anything I said, especially with Big Family being in D tier, or Hungry Bears, you want them being S, the choice is yours. I just have the link in the description. So thank you for watching. I'm glad I finally get this tier list off my chest. All right, I'll just see you guys into the goddamn challenge now.